Hello, and welcome to day 5 of showing up live every day for 31 days of October. And today I'm going to talk about the second highest requested topic in the poll that I shared with you. I'm going to talk about burning out versus breaking free. One of the things a lot of people come to us with is a desire to build a business that sets them free. Sometimes it's even just to create a life plan that gets them out of this state of feeling stuck in a funk or being trapped in a life that they're not loving. And it's interesting because I've absolutely been there. I know what it's like. See my freaky background? This might make you feel car sick after a while. But I know what it feels like to literally be trapped in your own life, to feel like you have no choices, that there's not enough time in the day, and that really you can't do anything because you're just a victim of your circumstances. Like, I've literally been there, worn the t-shirt for many years, and managed to break myself free. And I want to share with you what I did. Some of you have already been through this with me. Some of you know exactly what we did. Some of you have read my book. It's all in there. You can grab the book, The 7 Effect, which literally steps out how Amy and I set ourselves free from our day jobs and built a 6-figure coaching and consulting business. But before I get into what it is that I actually did, I just want to forewarn you and say it's not sexy. It's not amazing. It's not magical. It's not fancy. There's no bells and whistles. It is really simple stuff. And I promise you that if you actually did this, and most people won't, but if you did, if you made the decision to be there in the 5% of people, or probably even less, that do the things that I am about to share with you, you will change your life entirely. Now, I don't know about you, if you've ever kind of got on a bandwagon, started a new habit, joined the gym, decided to do meditation, and you've done it for a while and you felt the benefits, but you've slipped back off into your old ways. Very normal. I do it frequently. Still, to this day, I teach not to do it. Well, I don't teach not to do it, but I teach people ways to overcome that. And I think it's really important right from the onset to know that what I'm about to share with you is not about perfectionism. It's not about doing it right all day, every day, and doing every single piece perfectly. What it is about is it's about getting the framework set up in your life so that it's easier to do it than not to do it. You want to create an environment, whatever that works for you, where this stuff just becomes habit. So let's talk about breaking you free. Let's do it. So I'm going to get rid of this sickening trap of being in this crazy place. I'm going to head over to my whiteboard. Oh, look, peeking through. Okay, so there are essentially 3 things, 3 areas that we're going to cover. 3 is the magic number. You'll hear me talk a lot about 3 things throughout the next 31 days. How many we got left? 26 days left. So the first thing I want to talk about, let's put this down here so you can actually see it, is your measures. Ah, look who's here, my friend. Hello, my friend, Sue Giacobi. Welcome to the party. Sue, if you just joined me, we're talking about finding your freedom, breaking free. Here is the formula. Your freedom measures, what are they? How do we measure freedom in the first place? Well, it's interesting. A lot of the time in business and even in life, we talk about if we want to break free, we need to be financially free. But I think freedom is a whole lot more than that. In fact, I've just spent a good part of today doing the finishing touches on our freedom test, which is long overdue. It was meant to launch, I'm writing too high. So I'm just going to draw a line here so I know where to write. Yep, freedom test. So the freedom test is long overdue. Some of you are waiting to get your hands on this survey. It's very cool, and it's something that we want everyone that's coming to Freedom Fest to do as their benchmark. The goal is you'll check in, you'll get your measure of how free you feel, and then each month, each quarter, each year, we recheck and we check in at Goals Club and we continue to grow and evolve and evolve. Woohoo, says Sue. Woohoo, indeed. So let's talk about the measures beyond financial that are part of your freedom. So imagine this entire circle is your picture of freedom. And I'm going to give you a higher level, and then I'm going to share the freedom test link with you in here. It's a free survey. It also gives you a free blueprint of how to create your own freedom map. You can all have a play with that, hopefully tomorrow. But the first thing we need to look at is, of course, your financial freedom. Now, please excuse my spelling. Let's make financial green, because green is the color of money. So we do want to work on your financial freedom. And there's 3 aspects to that. And I won't go down into the nitty-gritty for today, but I might later on. When you do the freedom test, you'll be able to work that out anyway. But you want to have a sense of freedom financially. You don't have to be a millionaire. What we want to do is we want to take the problem of money off of the table. So what I love about my personal situation is I make my money in business, but I bank it in property. Because business can be volatile. You can have a month where you do $80,000 or $90,000, which is what we've had recently, and then you can be back down to $20,000 or $30,000 for the next month. And that's very up and down, and particularly when you're trying to scale and grow a team, it can be a little scary. And I've certainly been through some of that roller coaster recently. But what I love about my situation is when I pay myself, and as I earn money, I'm constantly looking to invest it in property. So I have 3 investment properties at the moment, which all have fairly low mortgages. And I know that if I decided to say, you know what, I actually am not going to work anymore. I'm going to let the 7 wind back down rather than wind it up. I have enough equity there in my properties to retire on, which is a nice feeling. And I'm not the sort of person who needs to be absolutely rolling in it. Not that I find anything wrong with that. And certainly I want to be a multi-millionaire. That is my goal. But when it comes to financial freedom, the number 1 goal is to take the money problem and money stress off the table. So we talk a little bit about how to do that. I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty. I just want to share out the measures. The next thing is your mental freedom. And by this, let's give mental the color blue. It's about having a clear thought pattern, clear mind, clear as the blue skies. Many business owners in the pursuit, not just even business owners, employees, workers, humans in the pursuit of financial freedom can never switch their mind off. When I worked full time, I used to drive home because I was the best performing state manager, and I was very sales and target focused, and I loved the accolades that I got from my boss when I signed a big deal and when I outperformed the other state leaders. And I was very driven to win, and I was good at what I did. But unconsciously, the mental stress of me staying on the leaderboard caused me to pick a hole in the top of my head. And I wasn't even consciously aware of this until one day I was at my mum's house and I bent over and she said, "Oh, darling, what's that in the top of your head? You've got a bald patch." And I thought, oh God. And as I went to feel it, I immediately felt myself sitting in my car in peak hour traffic driving home going like this. I wasn't even aware that I was doing that every night as I sat in peak hour traffic for an hour on my way home thinking, what can I do next? How can I get ahead? I was in this mental kind of trap of trying to break free. Catch 22. So there's the mental freedom. We also then have the physical freedom. And let's make physical yellow because it's the colour of energy. And Dr. Libby Weaver, who is one of the world's leading, or maybe not the world, maybe let's call her the world, Australia certainly, leading experts on women's health, Dr. Libby Weaver. And she says, energy is the currency of your health. And I love that. So when we are low on energy, we are poor in health. When we are high on energy, we are good in health. Part of your freedom relates to your physical health and well-being. Have you ever met a tradie or someone who puts their body into their business a lot in the pursuit, again, of this thing, financial freedom, and they end up with injuries, sore backs, bung knees, issues here? My partner Jason has a lot of physical pain in his body a lot of the time. So even though, again, he's chasing financial freedom, it's often at the cost of our physical. For me, it was at the cost of my mental. And then the final one is emotional. And emotional freedom is when we feel loved and happy and peaceful. And again, how many business owners have you met who have sacrificed their relationships with the people they love most in the pursuit of financial freedom? Guilty as charged. I've absolutely done that. So the very first step into breaking free is getting real about your measures. Now, we have a variety of ways that we can help you do that. We have our life audit, we have our leadership audit, and we have our lifestyle business audit. And they're really nice slaps in the face to give you a wake-up call and a reality check. For Freedom First, I wanted to bring it all together, and I wanted to really look at a model that just is assessing your freedom. And then we look at where you're at, and then we use some of our other tools to help you create your life plans. So step one to breaking free is deciding how will you measure your freedom. If you don't like my model, you don't have to use it. You can come up with your own measures around freedom. But I personally think that if you have financial well-being, don't stress about money, mental, calm, confidence, clarity, physical, energy, health, wellness, resilience, mobility, and emotional, love, peace, and happiness, then you shall be free. So that's why I decided to choose those particular measures. And we have 3 different things in each of those, which I'll talk to you about later. Now it's looking very hairy, isn't it? So we've got the measures. The second thing I wanted to talk about to help set you free, now that we've had the reality check, is your plans. I did a bit of a walk in the dark last night, and I talked about the 3 plans that every business owner needs if they want to break free. I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to say this a lot this month because it is so important and people don't realize it. And you know the biggest thing that I hear from business owners? I'm too busy. There's a saying, it's a Zen proverb. You should sit for 20 minutes a day to meditate, unless you are too busy. If you're too busy, you should sit for an hour. And I think that that is very true for business owners because I see a lot of the time they're kind of like just on the treadmill, stuck in the hamster wheel, telling themselves they're too busy to stop and work on the business because they're so caught up in the business. There's 2 things you need to do to get out of that trap. Number 1 is you need to actually stop and step away. You need to break the cycle by taking some time out. Book out a day for yourself. Book out 2 days. If you're too busy for 2 days, then book a week. Think of the Zen proverb. What are the 3 plans you need? Number 1, you need a life plan. Why? Because if you don't have this, your business will become your life. Your job will become your life. Your work will take over your life. Get the picture? So we need goals. We need to look at the 7 elements of life and get clear on, you know what do you actually want? We run our Ultimate Life Planning Workshop, and this year I'm bringing that into part of Freedom Fest, but we've been running it for 7 years now. The 7 Effect turns 7 this May, and the Ultimate Life Plan was the very first event that we ever ran. It was kind of like if I could give everybody, oh, Sue's saying, yes, I needed this reminder, take time out. Let me just read that out for me. It's so important, Sue. We forget it, don't we? I'm certainly can be guilty of it as well. And what I really like about having these plans in place is you know how to course correct. You know what your ultimate goal is that you're working towards. So when we launched the 7 Effect, I built a workshop that was basically saying, hey, I spent the last 7 years feeling like a stressed out single mum who was working full time, burning the candle at both ends, cranky, grumpy, workaholic through the week, social alcoholic on the weekend, in lots of debt, and just life was a mess. But out of those 7 years, the last 3 or 4, I started working on my life plan. I started showing up at a goals club every single month. And I transformed not just part of my life, but every aspect of my life from the inside out. I went from a stressed out single mum who literally believed she had no hope in changing or doing anything different because I couldn't find the time in the day to just scratch my head, even though I was doing it unconsciously and sending myself bald, to breaking free, building a coaching business with my bestie, and doing over $164,000 in our very first year without working hard, by only working smart. So it was a lot of fun. It absolutely worked. And the Ultimate Life Plan workshop was all about showing people how they could do that as well. We've had rave reviews over this, but basically in that session, we teach you how to build a life plan that has a combination of your ultimate dare to dream goals, your 10 out of 10 version of life. And before we do this, we always do your measures, the reality check. We design your dream life, your 10 out of 10 version. And then we create your commitments, as in the 12-month goals that you will achieve in the next 12 months. And then we set you up with a monthly cycle that leads to the Goals Club. And this, my friends, is the secret sauce. If I could get everybody to just show up once a month in a Goals Club with a good facilitator and bring their life plan and check in and do it not just for a couple of months, not even for a year, but for a couple of years, and that's what it takes. It's going to take you a couple of years sometimes, depending on how far you are and how deep you're stuck. Most people want to do it all in a couple of days or a couple of minutes, but you really got to invest a couple of years to completely transform your life. And I see this all the time. We can take women from 0 to 6 figures in 12 months. No problem. Many women get there even faster. But in their first 12 months, there's often a lot of stuff they still need to work out and deal with. And so it becomes a journey for life, not just it's not a fad. It's a way of being. And so you need, number 1, your life plan. The second plan, so this is your first plan. First plan. The life plan. The second plan. Oh, we've got someone else coming in. I can't see who this is, but thank you for your comment. Love, love, love Ultimate Life Plan and Goals Club. Thank you. By the way, if you want me to know who you are, type your name in, or there is a link above this little video that you can click on, and then eCam will allow your profile pic, because you can see here when I share Sue's comment, it comes up with her face, which is beautiful. Thanks, Sue. Thank you, Facebook user. Type your name in so I can know who you are. Anyway, the second plan you need, I call it something different, but if you want to know what it really is, it's a marketing plan. That's the conventional term for it. Oh, that was you as well. You got two profiles going, Sue. So, your marketing plan, I want you to think of this as a leadership plan. And I speak now to women in business. Most of our clients are women who either want to quit their job and build a business, or women who have started their job. They're in that struggling startup stage and they want to get to six figures. That's my niche. That's my area of expertise. If you are in a job and you don't have a desire to start a business, but you do have a desire to evolve your career, then this still works for you. So your marketing plan is all about positioning you as the number one go-to expert in your field. It's about making you famous for your thing so that you can become fully booked. One of the things that I hate in business is chasing business. I will never cold call. I do follow-ups and check-ins with people. I form friendships. I guess that's kind of my approach, and build relationships with people. But more than anything, I focus on helping people get results so that they then become living proof of what we do works. And then when you deliver enough results and you share those results in the ways that we teach our clients to do, more clients come to you. So basically that's what your second plan needs to be. You might even want to call it your positioning plan. It's about a plan to say, where do I want to sit in the market? What do I want to be known for? What is the reputation that I'm building? We live in a world where it has never been faster, easier, or cheaper than to turn what you already know how to do into a six-figure business. You don't need a shop or stock or overheads or any of those fancy things. You can literally turn all the stuff that's up here and in here, the head and the heart, your wisdom, your experience, into valuable products and services that can really help people and solve problems. So the marketing plan talks about how you will actually do that. How do you leverage the wisdom that sits inside you and position that in the marketplace? And then the third plan, number 3, it is your 80-20 plan on a page. Pop. I didn't even know it was going to be a pop. Plan on a page. It should be really plan on a pop, but we'll just go with pop. It sounds much better. I want you to think of your plan on a page as your North Star. It should align with low effort, high reward strategies, and it will be organized in different pillars. So when I work with big organizations, there are 6 key pillars that we build your plan on a page around, and they're linked to the pillars of high performance. When we work with solo entrepreneurs, individuals, there are 5 pillars, and they're kind of like an individual version of the 7 years of study I did on what drives high performing organizations turned into a framework that will work perfectly for an individual business owner. So in your plan on a page, it basically takes all of the stress, all of the ideas, all of the heaviness of the stuff you've got to do to grow your business, and it puts it in one beautiful, neat place so you can just check in and look. I'm looking over here because my plan on a page is over there. It's huge. It takes up a massive part of my wall. And you'll feel instantly lighter and freer. And the beautiful thing about having one of these is as you go through the year, you and your team just check in on it, and you just slowly tick off all the things. And some years you might carry some things over. Some years you might not do some things and you just delete them. And the more you get into these things, the easier it becomes. And you just create this habit, this system, this ritual But you have these plans that are your guiding lights. And I just wanted to share with you a little brief story about the power of a plan. A couple of years ago, a guy that I know through my partner Jason came into my office, and he's actually going to be speaking at Freedom Fest. He's a very successful business guy, fascinating, clever, switched on, high performing, off the charts, attention deficit disorder, entrepreneurship, whatever you can. He's just like a mini Richard Branson, I would say. Anyway, he's a cool guy. And a couple of years ago, his name's Clint, he came into my office and he just sat down and he said, I'm fucked. Excuse my language, that's actually what he said. You need to fix me. I am totally effing effed. And I was like, I don't think you are. Number one, I'm not really believing that, but tell me more about what's going on. Because he's very high performing, he was very successful, and he literally just bought another big company. So he had a big company, he bought another one, and he's merging the two together. Young guy in his 30s. Anyway, we sat down, and it turned out that he was waking up in the middle of the night having anxiety attacks. And his biggest fear was that he was literally going to have a heart attack and drop dead. And so he was sabotaging his own health a bit, eating shit food, drinking too much alcohol, yada, yada, yada. And he still does a little bit of that, to be honest. But I don't believe he's having anxiety attacks anymore. The thing that eased him, we did all sorts of NLP and all sorts of different stuff, and he's even done some work with Tony as well. Tony Everard is in our community and does NLP breakthroughs. But the biggest thing that took the load off for him was getting out big butcher's paper, and I just literally unpacked him. I pulled out all his visions, all his ideas, all the goals, all the things he wanted to do. And oh my goodness, did this man have a head full of wisdom and brilliance and visions, but his team had no idea what was going on. And the load of it was so heavy that it was keeping him trapped. So the moment we did that, when we created his plans, he instantly felt freer. Not in a week or a day or a year, but instantly he felt freer. And that's what a good plan can do for you. So those are the 3 plans you need. The final thing I wanted to talk about, number 3 is your habits. So you've got your freedom measures, your freedom plans, then your freedom habits. These are the things that you do consistently each day, each week, each month, each quarter, each year. I'm a big believer in creating rhythm in your life. And so some of the things that I think are really nice to have is a daily ritual. Now, you probably already have some of these. I bet you brush your teeth, your hair, have a shower. These are part of your daily rituals. When you start to create life plans and you become really conscious about what it is that you want out of life, you start to look at your daily rituals and go, what is there room for? And what could I stop doing? Sometimes we have daily rituals that aren't taking us where we want to go. Got a daily ritual to flop on the couch when I get home from work and binge watch crappy TV. I've definitely had that daily ritual before. Is it a good one? No, it's a terrible daily ritual. Feels good every now and then to do it though, I'm not going to lie. So number 1, we want to look at your daily rituals. Number 2, we'll have your weekly to-dos. I don't like working off a daily to-do list, but I like a weekly to-do list. So I kind of go into my week and go, what are my big rocks? And in fact, we could even call them your weekly big rocks. Whatever, call them whatever you want. But each week, I've kind of got 3 days a week to get stuff done. And it means that it's a very intense week at the 7 Effect because we have Tuesday to Thursday, and Mondays is my me day, Fridays is my learning and study day. So I've got to be very focused and I've got to know exactly what I want to get done each week to be productive and to continue getting things done. Then number 3, we have our monthly goals. where the Goals Club comes in. Now, the Goals Club is so beautiful because when you join a Goals Club or when you start a Goals Club, every month when you check in, the first thing you do is you reflect back on your monthly goals and your weekly to-dos and you say, these are the things that I achieved. You also go, these are the things that I didn't. I'll either carry them over or cut them out. And you start to become very conscious about what you do with your time and your life, and it's really beautiful. The thing that I love about Goals Club is it creates a spirit of progress in you. Nothing drives the human spirit more than a sense of progress. When you feel like you are moving forward, you will intrinsically continue to move forward. So Goals Club for the monthly stuff, we here have quarterly team day. So it's quarterly team planning to spit out some 90-day plans. You might like to do that in your business. And if you don't have a team, what I recommend is an annual retreat. Now, we do our annual 7-day retreat, the Brain Body Business Retreat, which was so beautiful this May. We did it up at the, we did do it in Bali, and I often still call it our Brain Body Business Bali Retreat, but it hasn't been in Bali for a couple of years now. But this year, we did it at the beautiful Middleton beach huts, and everyone got their own little beach hut, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And we went for early morning beach walks at 6 o'clock in the morning on the beach down at Middleton. One morning we saw a kangaroo hopping straight past us on the beach. It was so cool. It was just amazing. We did Ayurvedic cooking classes. We put together life plans. We had massages. We had facials. We went out to a degustation dinner. We made social media, we had photo shoots. As Sue's saying, the retreat was awesome. Now, we do this with only 10 clients once a year. And I honestly believe that every woman in business, and even every man, every human in business, once a year should give themselves a retreat. Either a pure health farm, go off and just eat healthy foods and do massage and that sort of stuff type retreat, or even a business retreat where you get to have a combination of both. Recharge your body. This is why we designed the Brain Body Business Retreat the way we did. Recharge your body, check in with your health, but also start thinking about your business and setting yourself up with new ideas. The beautiful thing, Sue's on here live at the moment, we did an exercise where we got people to really connect deeply with their vision, because I always talk about don't build a business, lead a movement. And so I asked people to really connect with the movement that they were wanting to lead. And it's funny, I've been working with Sue now for, is it 2 years? We've become beautiful friends, and Sue's smashing it this year in business, which is fantastic. But anyway, for about a year, Sue had been kind of churning on this vision, and she'd get there and then she'd go, I keep tripping up on my words and I'm trying to get it. But there was something about just being away from it all. And when she stood up to share her vision for her movement, we were all very moved. And I think it was just the first time that it came out of her and she felt fully congruent with everything. And so there's just something really beautiful that can happen for you when you take yourself away and you do an annual retreat. Now, obviously, 7 days, like I said before, is too much for a lot of people. And that's why we've created the Freedom Fest retreat. And the beautiful thing about Freedom Fest is it's only 3 days. And you can get a room and you can stay over if you like. It's at the Stanford Grand. Or you can just come for the 3 days and you can build your plans and take that break and work on your goals, but then go back to your family and your children in the evening. And the beautiful thing about Freedom Fest is it's not a talk fest where you come together for 3 days, we get you all revved up, and then we leave you hanging. It's then followed by 10 months of a goals club. And the reason I've created Freedom Fest the way that I have is because we have our ultimate program, which is the Lifestyle Business Builder, which Sue is in. And the Lifestyle Business Builder is about to go through an extreme makeover. And in 2022, we are relaunching it as the Lifestyle Entrepreneurs Academy. And this is a big step towards my grand vision of building a Lifestyle Entrepreneurs Academy for young people as a third alternative. Whoops. Where they can say, you know what, I don't want to go to a trade, I don't want to go to uni, I'd love to build a business. And so I want a curriculum that can take a young person out of school and in 2 years take them on a journey that will transform their lives, establish them as a confident and capable leader in their niche, whatever they discover that will be, and then literally build a business. So these young people will come out of the academy with a business making them money, with an asset. Now, in order for me to do that, I need to prove that the model works. My son is my first human guinea pig, but all of the women that are going through the Lifestyle Entrepreneurs Academy, or it's currently called the Lifestyle Business Builder, are also my human guinea pigs. They're proving that this stuff works. So next year, we're leveling it all up. We're relaunching it. We're expanding the curriculum to really take it to that intensive 2-year life, leadership and lifestyle business kind of journey. And some people will get there in 12 months and other people might take 2 years. It doesn't matter. If it takes 2 years to build a business where you can make $10,000 to $50,000 a month working part-time, why the heck wouldn't you do that? I mean, honestly, why wouldn't you? If that's your thing. But here's the problem. It's expensive. It's not really when you consider what you build in that time and how much value you get. But for a lot of people in our community, it's out of their reach financially. So I thought, what's something that I can create that gives people access to all the good stuff that I can share at a very affordable price? And that's why I come up with Freedom Fest. It's much cheaper than our Brain Body Business Retreat because it's not just for 10 people and it's not as exclusive. There will be only 150 though, 150 people max. And it gives you that entire 10-month support in the Goals Club. So I'm very excited about November, and that's why I'm showing up here for October each day, because I really want to let everyone know where we're heading, what we're doing, and I want to invite you to come on this journey with us. Imagine every November, 150 women coming together at the Stanford Grand. Maybe it'll grow next year to 250, 300 women coming together at the Stanford Grand to take 3 days out of their busy life to create their life plan, to build their marketing plan, and to get clear and confident about their business growth plan and do it in a low effort, high reward way that sets them free. And then have the systems and support around them to not leave with their plans and never implement them, but get kicked up the butt each month at Goals Club to actually get the stuff done. So if you want to work with me and the team in 2022, but you're not ready to jump into the Lifestyle Business Builder, I would say please reach out and get the details on Freedom Fest from me. Little insider, because of the lockdowns that have happened interstate, we have had some cancellations, about 3 tables actually, because there's quite a few people that were coming from interstate that now are saying they can no longer come. These folks got in on a super early bird deal that we released before it went public. And if you would like to know about that, send me a message, comment below, just write Freedom Fest or Freedom, and I'll get you the details. You can do that if you're watching here on YouTube, if you're in the free group, or watching the replay on our Facebook page, because once I film this, I'll share it out everywhere. So that's it for today's lesson. If you want to know how to set yourself free, do the stuff that nobody else will do. Well, not nobody else, but about Less than 5% of the population will actually do this with discipline. I want to create a space where you can get all the resources and tools to do it, all the coaching and support you need to follow through, and set yourself free. But I cannot do it for you. You have to show up and you have to contribute your energy and your ideas and your visions and your hopes and your dreams so we can put them in your plan and you can take action. Thanks so much, Sue. You are amazing. It is amazing. We are amazing together. I really appreciate you being here and watching. All right, folks, I am going to sign off now. Have a beautiful evening, and I'll see you tomorrow where we launch the Freedom Test. I hope you will jump in, take the survey, get your scores, and let's see where we go from there. Bye-bye. Thanks, Sue.